fights as well on this card. David, welcome back.
Look,
and again,
thank you for having us back. Look, I have to say there's a lot of treachery around boxing, and it can be a very risky business, like deep sea diving for the fighters and the promoters. So, I think it's really, really good to see what Eddie Hearn is doing for boxing and his longer-term plan and expanding into the United States, etc. And the reason I say that is testament to his professionalism and honesty in a sport where it's rare, is that we can make a deal, a very complex 8-figure intercontinental deal in the space of 48 hours, and deal's done. That's quite unusual in a sport like this with all the risks involved. So that's a testament, I think, to what Eddie's doing, and I like his vision. And so we're grateful to be back here. This is the epicenter of heavyweight boxing in the world. Obviously, we came close again.
That has to make you wonder what he was talking about. So, it is 5:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, June the 7th, 2018, and the sun hasn't come up yet, but suburbs of Philadelphia. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live, and out of nowhere, Dillian Whyte and Joseph Parker are going to be fighting July the 28th in the O2 Arena over on Sky Sports Box Office. That's pay-per-view, and likely here on HBO. It could, will Showtime pick it up? We don't know. Eddie Hearn's new app or new streaming service here in the U.S., it won't be launching until September, so this is up to whether Showtime or HBO is going to pick it up over here in the States. Very intriguing fight. I'm hyped to see it. The reason why is Joseph Parker is a very good boxer. He's very underrated as a boxer. We saw that in an Anthony Joshua fight. Even though, it may have been displeasing to the eye, but we saw that Anthony Joshua just had to be better. You see what I'm saying? But we saw that Joseph Parker, he can move. He's got that jab. He can fight. Dillian Whyte is more of a pressure fighting power puncher, so it's going to be interesting to see how this fight is going to play out. And also, you have Joseph Parker being active as well. So he was supposed to fight Bryant Jennings. Bryant Jennings over here, very highly ranked. Let me take this off for you. Highly ranked by the WBO, and his promoter Bob Arum, has ties with the WBO. So this is what he posted 4 hours ago. Joe Parker, damn dog, I heard you wanted an easier fight, so you went and ran off the plug, huh? Definitely wasn't about the money that was there for you. This ain't going to end good either way. Well, let me look at it like this. I've been hearing that
a rematch one day, perhaps with a different.
I've been hearing that Jeff Horn's team, and they're under the same promotional banner like Duco events in that oceanic area of New Zealand and Australia. But I think multiple things played in. Now, I do admit Whyte versus Parker is a big fight. It's a bigger fight over there in the UK, and Joseph Parker coming off of that. What was there, 70,000, something like that? Coming off of that 70,000, going to a Joseph Parker, he's got that momentum. Going to a Dillian Whyte, he's got that momentum in the UK around his name. And he's also stated in previous press conferences and in a build-up to the Anthony Joshua fight, even before that he's been trying to establish himself in that UK market. Even though he may train over here in Las Vegas, it's like this. Just like Jeff Horn, he's co-promoted by Top Rank. So if he fights on U.S. soil, it's a Top Rank fight. However, Top Rank do pick up their fights. Oh, ESPN Plus probably can pick it up too. Top Rank do help them get their fights televised here over in the United States to an extent, and it was different with the Anthony Joshua fight. But the point I'm trying to make is this fight with Bryant Jennings was going to take place in Atlantic City in a new casino, a really, really nice casino, but a much, much smaller venue. It would have been on an ESPN Plus app that still got fans. Well, we're going to find out how people really feel about this ESPN Plus app when it comes to, or streaming service, when it comes to this Horn Crawford fight this weekend. we're really going to find out. So that's in a couple of days. So I'm just thinking that, looking at it all the way around, the Whyte versus Parker fight is a bigger fight. And you hear, David Higgins is just talking about this guy right here, the promoter of Joseph Parker. You hear him just talking about how easy it is for him to get a deal done and that there's treachery in boxing and all this. And it's like, what are you saying? What? Who are you talking about?
Referee. But as Eddie said, I think the next biggest fight is Dillian Whyte. And so the Dillian Whyte fight has the magic 3 ingredients that I think make a fight pay-per-view worthy. 2 stars. Both guys are now sort of household names in the UK. It's got parochialism, New Zealand versus England, and also, most importantly, it's a 50-50 fight. 2 different styles, and it could go either way. And I think the fans, they get excited about those 50-50 fights. So this is a special fight. It's probably one of the biggest heavyweight fights of the year, and we're excited to be part of it. And I personally believe that Joseph Parker will be too much for Dillian Whyte, but I'm sure Eddie has a different view to that.
I hope so. But I do think it's a great fight. And one guy that's going to be very important, Kevin Barry's obviously waiting for Joseph in Las Vegas at the moment. But hear from Mark.
I forgot the other, what was it at? I forgot the other time stamp. Damn it. I forgot the other time stamp.
Do you feel the pressure in this fight, in that if you lose, those heavyweight?
This press conference took place, by the way, literally probably it ended maybe about 10 minutes before I started recording this video. And sorry about I've been being attacked by these little small fruit flies or whatever they are. So I was keeping my garbage down here because I really couldn't move around too well, like a month ago. And, fucking once it got warm outside, they just started fucking taking over. So we're trying to clean it out down here. So, we working again. We back. But this press conference ended literally probably about 10 minutes ago. So it wasn't really long. You can watch it on the in full on the Matchroom Boxing social media, on the Facebook page, on the Twitter page. And it wasn't controversial. Usually Dillian Whyte is,
World Championship dreams are over.
No, listen, my whole career has been like that anyway. Every fight has always been against it. So I'm used to it now. Some fighters have an easy way set up for them. Other fighters is a bit more difficult. So I'm used to that. I don't pressure myself. I just go out there, do what I gotta do, get the win whichever way, whether it's by KO or I gotta box some way to a decision. I don't really care. It's just about getting the wins. You can only progress in a win. So for me, I don't care about what people say, what people think. I just go out there, do what I need to do. I'm very good at adapting and adjusting myself to the situation, whether they're running, whether they're fighting, tall fighter, short fighter, in the moment. So, I'm used.
And finally, we've tried to make all the big fights. The Wilder fight, of course. Respect to Joseph Parker for taking this.
Yeah, they was trying to push that Wilder fight. Also, you're going to hear Dillian Whyte say in the press conference that he don't know what this fight is for. Now, I'm pretty sure that if Joseph Parker would have fought Brian Jennings, it would have been for likely a WBO mandatory or WBO interim. I'm pretty sure that it would have. Now, Dillian Whyte was supposed to fight either Pulev, and he's saying that Pulev, was, like slow with getting things done, even though there was a purse bid. Then, he is ranked very high by the WBC. There was talks of him fighting Luis Ortiz. So, this press conference, by the way, was announced literally like yesterday morning. I believe it was. So that's when they got the deal done.
When we spoke on the phone,
Get there, they realize that, this dude is way better than what we think there is, and he's a hell of a lot stronger than what we think. So we'll see.
I'd like to appeal to the British Boxing Board of Control to please not select a referee from the Italian mafia. Perhaps someone more neutral would be nice this time round.
Well,
Yeah, they did not like the referee for the Anthony Joshua fight. They did not like him at all. This is the second time he referenced him in this.
He was neutral. We actually asked for neutral judges together. Unfortunately, we got someone who is.
He certainly didn't look it.
No.
We got some of the best referees in the world in the UK anyway, so that won't be an issue.
I think these guys that might not get too close in the hugging stakes. I think this one's going to be an all-out war. We're going to have a head-to-head up here. Then the guys will be available for one-on-ones. Just a few questions from Sky Sports News now coming in here.
Yeah. So I don't mind. I just want to fight and just keep.
Yeah, here it is right here.
Fight high level. What my experience. It's like.
We're going to have a head-to-head up here. Then the guys will be available for one-on-ones. Just a few questions from Sky Sports News now coming in here.
Yeah.
Still, it's not about the WBC situation. You're silver champion. Is this the final playoff eliminator?
I don't know and I don't care, man. It's only a matter of time. All I gotta do is just win, just keep winning. I don't really care. It's like boxing's a funny business, and it's a funny business. We might win this one and they might call us to the world title. We might win and after another one after another two. But for me, I'm fighting a high level, but my experience is still growing. It's still very inexperienced, so I don't mind. I just want to fight and just keep learning and keep improving. Every fight I'm getting better. The more fights I have, the more active I am, the better I am. I've already started this camp way, way better than I did last camp, and I'm excited. I'm progressing day in, day out, so it's just good to have fights there and have the platform. Obviously, Sky Sport and Matchroom BM, who is now made a few major moves, which is going to make it even more easier for me to fight more regular now, so it's great.
You call everyone out, you're happy to fight anyone.
So he's basically saying that this fight isn't for anything; it's just for the money. Now, this is where things are going to get interesting. Either the WBC or the WBO. I wouldn't even be surprised if the WBA put their hat in to try to make this fight for one of the highest titles they could possibly make it for. Some type of interim titles, some type of underling title, diamond championship, some shit. So, looking at it, Joseph Parker just last week, him versus Brian Jennings was done. Brian Jennings is pissed off. He has every right to be because ESPN's got to fill these dates and no matter what that card is going through. So who is he going to fight now? It's unknown. Joseph Parker and his team, David Higgins, are talking about like there was some type of shadiness going on, with the negotiations. That seems as though what they're hinting at. And then he's basically saying that's why he likes to work with Eddie Hearn because they can get a deal done in 24, 48 hours. And Eddie Hearn's been known to do things like that when it came to Golovkin fighting Kell Brook. That deal was done in a short period of time. Eddie Hearn also will have press conferences, too, for the return of a fighter, without nobody knowing who this guy's going to fight. So that makes you go look at the rankings if you're a seasoned boxing fan and start thinking, okay, well, where is this guy going to fight who and where? So regardless, I'm hyped for the fight. Now the summer lineup is getting good. Hopefully HBO picks up the fight, for their benefit because they have no fights until August the 4th or something. It's looking bad over there for them. Anyway, now we don't know where both of these fighters are going to go. Let's go look at Dillian Whyte a little bit before I go. The thing about him is he's been working really hard over these last few years to get his way back up to world championship status, where he was like close to fighting for a championship when he had lost to Anthony Joshua. 23-1 with 17 KOs, 30 years old. Lucas Brown. And these are some good, solid names on his resume. Lucas Brown, he ended him real bad. Robert Herlenius. Before his injury, he's just not the fighter he used to be, but very, very good name. This Derek Chisora fight, the rematch with Derek Chisora doesn't mean as much anymore because Derek Chisora lost to this guy right here after losing to Dillian Whyte, so that's setting back. And then Anthony Joshua. But if you look at it, the Anthony Joshua fight was almost 3 years ago. And look, he's been, he's got David Allen. David Allen's fighting Tony Yoka. I met him in New York. Cool dude. He reminded me of Ben Simmons. But anyway, let me go look at the rankings real quick. want to see something. So you have Brian Jennings down here. You have Joseph Parker over here. You have Dylan Whyte right here. Yeah, the WBO is going to make this for something. Don't be surprised if it's going to be some. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
And one fist up this way, please, gentlemen.
Don't be surprised.
And one fist up this
TstreeT
way,
Controversy.
please,
This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.